We have Arizona, Minneapolis, Connecticut, Utah, New Jersey, Toulouse, Silicon Valley. I love it. We've got people from pretty much all over the place. We'll give it about 2 more minutes and then we'll go ahead and start. If you're just joining us, put in the chat, where are you joining us from? Put it in the chat. Let us know. Rep your city. Indonesia. Love it. If you're just joining, go ahead and put in the chat where you're joining us from. We'll get started shortly. Hoping everybody had a fabulous weekend. Michigan, Ukraine. Wow. So how many countries? I think we're at 5 or 6 countries now. We have many states in the state. We've got Canada, we've got Indonesia, we've got Ukraine. I think I'm missing some. France. Amazing. So if you're just joining us, go ahead and put in the chat where you're joining us from, and we will start shortly. Also, make sure you stay on because we're going to do a giveaway today. So you have a chance to win some things. We've got a lot of exciting announcements today. Okay, perfect. We will go ahead and get started. And don't let me forget to do the giveaway as well, because like I said, we've got loads of announcements today. So today is the 68th episode of HYSKY Monthly. Today's June 21st, 2025. And today we're going to be talking about the future of hydrogen-powered flight, transforming long-range aerial monitoring with hybrid drone innovation. First, I'm going to do some announcements. For most of you all know me, but for those of you that don't, I'm Danielle McLean. I'm the founder and CEO of HYSKY Society. So what is HYSKY? HYSKY is a 501c3 nonprofit committed to decarbonizing aviation and aerospace with hydrogen. We welcome and unite innovators in eVTOLs, fixed-wing aircraft, lighter-than-air vessels, with vessels, drone UAVs, and spacecraft. Basically, if it flies on hydrogen, that is part of our vision for sustainable flight. Our mission is to decarbonize aviation with hydrogen by building a connected ecosystem. That is you. Our vision is zero carbon flight powered by the hydrogen value chain ecosystem. You are HYSKY Society, not me. HYSKY has 6 programs. HYSKY Monthly, it's free monthly webinar series spotlighting the latest in hydrogen aviation. That's what you're at right now. We have Flying High. It's our annual hydrogen aviation conference. This year it is November 5th, 2025. We have HYSKY Connect. It is a brand new networking app connecting the hydrogen aviation ecosystem. Excuse me. We just launched this 2 months ago, and we are at 263 people in 2 months. And I want to give you this link in the chat and invite you to join us. It is free to join. We do all sorts of cool things on there. And you can also upgrade as a VIP if you use this code. If you use this code HYSKY68, and I'll tell you what that means in a second. We also have HYSKY EDU, that is hydrogen aviation courses. We have our upcoming hydrogen aircraft certification course for only $500. You'll hear more about that later today, but that is a must-take course. We also have our H2 Hub Summit, which is a half-day summit exploring hydrogen production, policy, and infrastructure. And forgive me, I'm multitasking and letting people into the webinar. And then we also have HYSKY Pod, which is a podcast featuring conversations with pilots and innovators building the future. I've interviewed Dean Kamen, the inventor of the Segway, who's also a private pilot, Dr. Martine Rothblatt, who, if you don't know who that is, you absolutely need to check out that interview. Mikhail Cardinal, who is flying hydrogen powered helicopters. So there's just all sorts of cool stuff on our High Sky Pod channel. Just a quick announcement. I wanted to let you all know about the Commercial Air Transport Discussion Group. This is a Vertical Flight Society group. You can join for free. I am going to start attending theirs, and they are going to start attending ours. It's very similar to HYSKY Monthly. It's a group that meets monthly, and they define and document the activities and benchmarks necessary to facilitate safe, convenient, and community-friendly operations for scheduled and on-demand transformative vertical air transportation for airline operations, air taxis, private charters, regional transit, cargo distribution, package delivery, and other similar commercial operations. Normally at this time, I would invite Andy to come on and speak, but he can't make it today, but he will be here next month. If you're interested in joining this group, you can email Andy@multicopter.aero. Okay, so I told you I was going to talk more about becoming a VIP member of High Sky Connect. So for you guys that are here today, we're offering 60% off our VIP membership. What you get when you're a VIP member, you get you get a complimentary sponsorship of Flying High. That's a minimum 250 value right there. You get your logo on the Zoom background to 300 plus attendees. Just like this, the logos behind me, those are current VIP members. You also get your logo featured on HYSKY.org. So let me just show you what that looks like. So your logo is here. You get a link back to your website. So definitely a value. You also get your logo featured here in our VIP members. And if you've been looking at our emails, you have probably seen that at the bottom of our emails, it says sponsored by, and you see a bunch of logos. So those are VIP members. You get a complimentary sponsorship of HYSKY Monthly. So your logo on the background forever. This will also go on our YouTube channel. And again, I think I already said you get your logo on our email blasts, which go out to 7,000. I wish 700,000. 7,000. We'll get to 700,000 eventually subscribers. So with the discount today, 60% off, you can join as a VIP member for $100 a year. That's literally all it costs to get your logo blasted everywhere. You also get other benefits. So you use HYSKY 68 to become a VIP member. If you want help doing that, just shoot me an email, but definitely a value there. We also have our upcoming hydrogen aircraft certification course. That course is $500. It's 6 live lectures and classes. It goes on for 3 weeks, August 26th to September 11th, 2025. So that's coming up next month. It'll be every Tuesday and Thursday for those 3 weeks from noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. Students receive an official HYSKY certification of completion. Recordings and materials will be available to the students. And if those dates don't work out for you, no worries, because you don't need to attend live to get your certification. You just have to complete the course material. VIP members receive 60% off of this course. So let me tell you about our instructors. I am so excited. So we have Dr. Eva Melavetti. Dr. Eva, that should be a comma. Whoops. Dr. Eva Melavetti is assistant professor and program coordinator of the Masters in Science in Aviation and Aerospace Sustainability at Embry-Riddle with over 14 years experience in UK, US, and Greek institutions. Expertise in aviation sustainability, safety, quality, and human factors, and has served as a technical expert for ICAO's CORSIA since 2019. She holds a private pilot license, UAS specific category C license, IRCA lead auditor certifications for ISO 9001 and AS 9100D. She is a Sustainability Excellence Associate and RAES member, has authored 2 books on sustainable aviation. One of them, which I have, if it doesn't block out, and consults ESG and sustainability strategy for air operators and MROs. We are so excited to announce her as one of our instructors at the H2 aircraft certification course. Next instructor that we have is Dr. Saeem Zafar, and he is a green hydrogen and PEM cell specialist, PEM fuel cell specialist with a PhD and over 14 years experience designing hydrogen fuel cell powertrains for fixed wing, eVTOL, and multi-rotor UAVs. He leads projects on hybrid solar hydrogen platforms, drone conversions to fuel cells, holds instructor certifications in hydrogen technologies, and has published over 20 peer-reviewed papers on clean propulsion and advanced air mobility. Dr. Zafar is also a certified EASA instructor. I am so excited about these two instructors because I have sourced and read tons of their research over the years. So it is truly an honor to welcome them as our instructors. So why you should become a VIP member. As a VIP member, you get a 60% discount on a $250 membership today, which means you'll pay $100 for the membership that lasts you a year. You will also get a 60% discount on the course, so you're only going to pay $200 for the course. So long story short, if you become a VIP member today and you use this code, you're going to get the course and an annual membership for $300. So your logo will be blasted everywhere. You get the course, you get all of the benefits for only $300. So that is the best discount that we have done to date. So just a quick announcement about Flying High. We are so excited to have launched the Flying High Steering Committee. We have decided to do Flying High virtually this year just because of a lot of travel uncertainties and things going on. But shout out to the steering committee because they are just doing a fantastic job. Bill, I think I saw you here. Vadim, I think I saw you log in. Thank you so much to the Flying High Steering Committee. They are doing great. Because of this amazing success of the steering committee, the Flying High Steering Committee, we have also decided to launch the HYSKY Fundraising Steering Committee. As the aviation industry faces mounting pressure to reduce its carbon footprint, HYSKY is taking decisive action by establishing a fundraising steering committee that is dedicated to supporting the organization's mission to decarbonize aviation through hydrogen technology. This new initiative represents a critical step forward in mobilizing the resources needed to transform one of the world's most challenging sectors when it comes to achieving net zero emissions. Now, to volunteer for this position, you do not need to be an expert in fundraising. You just need to be committed to volunteering a couple of hours per month. And I will tell you that Mike Hirschberg, many of you know who that is going to be vice chairing that steering committee. So you'll get the opportunity to work directly with Mike Hirschberg. We've also got some exciting folks from SoCal Gas, and it'll really give you an opportunity. I was having a conversation with Michael Duke, and Michael, if you're here, forgive me for kind of putting you on blast. And Michael Duke said, well, hey, when you raise that money, send them my way. And I said, hey, if you're a startup and you're raising money, this is a great way to meet people and give back. It's great networking. You'll be rubbing elbows with people that you probably wouldn't have connections to if you were just raising money for your startup. So by donating some of your time to HYSKY, it's going to, by proxy, benefit you and kind of put you into the network. And I just honestly cannot say more about volunteering. When you're volunteering, it just does so much. It really is just good karma. So sign up by completing the form. I just put the link in the chat. So all you need to do is complete that form. You do not need to be an expert. I will say that again, but if you're interested, if you believe in our mission to decarbonize aviation, then you should sign up. And so I'll just quickly tell you about the hydrogen aviation ecosystem and why it's so important. So a lot of times in hydrogen aviation, we're often focused like on board the aircraft, which includes the fuel cell and the onboard storage. And if I could kind of draw like a circle around these three parts, that's usually who was talking. And then we sort of saw production and logistics and refueling kind of grouped together. But the challenge was these people weren't talking together. So we said if hydrogen aviation is going to take off, we have to include production, logistics, infrastructure, onboard storage, fuel cells, and of course the aircraft design. All of those things need to be talking and connected. So that is why HYSKY exists, to bring those people together. So why hydrogen? Well, if you're looking at like a battery powered eVTOL or drone or aircraft, they can fly over traffic. That's cool. Speaking specifically of like an air taxi, but they're only going to go about 60 to 100 miles, and that's okay. I mean, this is beta. Beta can actually go further than that, but for my analogy, I'm going to say 60 to 100 miles. And I'm in Houston, and I would love to fly from Houston to San Antonio, but I couldn't do that on an electric aircraft that's powered with batteries without stopping to charge. I don't want to stop and charge, it takes too long. So if I want to go from Dallas to Austin or San Antonio from Houston, I would have to stop and recharge and wait. Hydrogen can extend the range a lot, up to 300 miles, actually much more than 300 miles. This opens up city to city travel, life-saving flights that average 300 miles, regional air mobility, emergency search and rescue, think floods and hurricanes, and down here in Houston and in Texas in general, we think about that a lot. So just to kind of put it on a chart to show you what that looks like with batteries, you're going to go to go 300 miles on batteries, you're going to have to stop and recharge at least twice. But if you were to use hydrogen, you can go from A to B without stopping to charge. So you could go 300 miles or more without stopping to charge. Or you could go 150 miles and not need any infrastructure here and come back. So that's what hydrogen really enables us to do. This is the current state of hydrogen aviation. There are actually more companies that I need to add on here, and I've been saying that for the last 6 months. I just have not had time to update this slide. But we're really seeing hydrogen aviation take off. So, let me go back because I forgot to say something about this slide. So these are all of the organizations and companies that are flying with hydrogen. So they're going to need hydrogen. And that's where HYSKY comes in. HYSKY bridges the gap between hydrogen and aviation. So we look for people producing hydrogen, making fueling stations, doing that sort of thing so we can connect the people that want to fly with hydrogen to the technology and to the fuel that they will need affordably. Okay, so that is most of my spiel. And now we are going to do my favorite part, and we are going to take a group picture. So everybody, please turn your cameras on, and I'll tell you when to cheese. And then after that, we're going to do a raffle, and you're going to get to win a surprise. Oh, it's so good to see all the familiar faces. Hi, Sion. Hi, Amethyst. Hi, Rob. Hi, Jim. Hi, Tom. Let's wait for a few more folks to turn on their camera. Hi, Wade. Shout out, Wade. Flying High Steering Committee. You weren't on when I was giving shout outs, but I see you here. Hey, Dennis, SW, Sweary, Doug, nice to see you. If we can get a few more people to turn on their camera and say cheese, there we go. It doesn't matter if you just came back from the gym. We are all very casual. I'm actually wearing my gym clothes with a blazer over it, so don't let the blazer fool you. I put on a blazer for you guys today. Okay, awesome. Let's all say cheese. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Hold it. We're going to do a couple more. Hang on a sec. Okay, I'm saving that one. And let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Awesome. All right, now we are going to do a raffle, and let me see if I can do this in an easy way. Hoping that I can, let me do it like this. I have to get all your names. I'm going to stick them in this database, and then we're going to raffle you guys off, and you will have a chance to win a HYSKY swag item of your choice. So give me just a sec to pull that up. Only thing I don't like about this is you have to have ads. Okay. It included my name, but if I win, then we'll redo it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now, how do I spin? Sorry, guys, I don't do this very often. There we go. Can you guys see the raffle? Put a 1 in the chat if you can. Sonia, you are our winner today. And what you are going to win is, if you go to HYSKY.org, and there's a swag, I'll also put it in the link for you. I'll put the link in there. Just pick out what you want and send me your size, and we will get that shipped to you. Awesome. Okay, without further ado, please meet today's speaker, Mohammad Sarabi. Mohammad Sarabi is the COO and co-founder of SkyScouter, a pioneering UAV company in British Columbia, Canada. With a background in mechanical systems and a strong track record in advanced drone innovation, Mohammad leads SkyScouter's operations and strategy with a focus on hybrid gas-electric UAVs capable of long-range autonomous missions. His work is at the forefront of integrating sustainable propulsion technologies, including hydrogen, into aerial systems designed for infrastructure inspection, environmental monitoring, and reforestation. Passionate about scalable, low-maintenance flight solutions, Mohammad is committed to shaping the future of aerial mobility through clean energy and AI-enhanced autonomy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mohammad Sarabi. Mohammad, the stage is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, you sound great.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammad. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SkyScouter. Let me turn on my presentation here. And thank you for joining me today. As what you can see on the screen is the SkyScouter. Daniel.
Yes, it looks great.
Okay, sure. Thank you for joining me today. And we're going to talk about the clean energy, long-range aerial mobilities. I'm going to introduce myself again. I'm Mohammad Sarabi, co-founder and CEO of SkyScouter. And my journey for the drone in the designing started back in 2 decades ago with as a hobbyist. And then since then, I studied designing and build many UAVs platform like prototype or advanced hybrid platform. Oh, yeah. During my design back in the day, back in 20 years ago, I found out the problem. What's the problem? The problem was the flight time of the drones, and they have a limited short range. The idea came up around 10 years ago, how we can increase it. As you know, the drones are using in many industries like agriculture, forestry, oil and gas, mining, and all these sectors. But still the problem is how we can have the drone with a long range. 20 minutes or 40 minutes is not enough, and they're all short range. And the problem is we cannot cover the huge land or cover the vast area by the drones, electrical drones. The goal that I was working but I'm saying I mean, me and my team working in SkyScouter, how we can have a drone to travel 120 to 200 miles in one go and flying 4 to 6 hours of the flight. When I moved to Canada, I dove deeper into this problem, and I explored multiple methods like increasing the flight time. For example, I designed the ultralight frame, improving the aerodynamics, and checking the hydrogen as a power source. I had a friend here. He was working at the Bollard. Bollard is one of the companies. They are making a fuel cell here in British Columbia, Burnaby. I consulted with him, and he told me about how it's the fuel cells, how we can use it, what's the benefit or what's the disadvantage of the fuel cell. But I'm motivated to buy the fuel cells. I bought the fuel cells, tanks, regulator, all the accessories, and we start to design the drone. But we found out the small problem. It is a little bit expensive back in 2015, 2016. And when we assembled the drone, we found out the flight time is good. It was not bad. Around 2 hours, 3 hours flight. We got it from the drone that we designed it. But the problem here appears when we increasing the payload, the flight time dramatically decreased, right? And another problem we found out how we can find the hydrogen in Vancouver area, in British Columbia area for the tank that we installed in the drone. This is one of the biggest challenge we faced back in the day. And another problem was we found out the lifetime of the fuel cell is around 200 to 300 hours of the operation, which was not that much good for me because I didn't know about the grants funding from the government for the research. I was working in another company, and then I spent all my saving to buy those equipments from Singapore and the other companies in the US to build my drone. Because of these limitations and lack of the infrastructure and high cost and low payload, I moved to another method pathway, basically. I studied how the Toyota Prius is working. It has the engine, it has an alternator, it has a battery, and I told myself, let's design something like this. It took 1 year to find out which engine is good, what kind of the alternator is good, how we can combine them together, how we can control them for the drone. We built that hybrid system. The hybrid system that we built, it worked great. The initial flight, it was 3 to 4 hours. It was good. And then we improved the engine and alternator and reduced the weight of the drone. We reached to 6 hours of the flight with one fuel tank of gas. It was very good. We were so happy about it, but we found out another problem. Some of our customers back in the day, they told us because you are using gas and it has a pollution, right? And they told us, okay, let's move to another method to find the much greener power source. But the problem, we couldn't find it back in the day, and we still be using the gas for the flying, and we're still improving the engine that we have and the drone that we have to fly longer and longer. But I believe the hydrogen has a strong future in UAV system, and as a production and infrastructure improves, we will be ready to transition to fully green and high endurance aerial platform. We have all the technology for the drone and UAVs. We can design the all shape, fixed wing, rotary wings for the drone. We just need to make sure how the infrastructure is going to work to make the supply chain of the hydrogen to for our company or the other companies that are coming in Canada or in US. In Canada, there are growing pressure to develop and adopt the green technologies, and I absolutely support it. For us, the answer is hydrogen for future. Right now, there are several government supported projects focused on developing hydrogen production. That's promising. It's coming. But the biggest challenge and barrier is the infrastructure and accessibility of the hydrogen. For example, for our drone, it's categorized under 25 kilogram in Canada. For one fly, we need 5 liter to 50 liter of the, for one mission, sorry, for one mission, we need 5 to 50 liter of the gasoline to cover the huge area. As a comparison, if we want to have the hydrogen, we should have the storage with the crews to go to the remote areas to fly the drone. And the limit, as I mentioned about the limitation of the hydrogen, I categorize it something in 4 categories: lack of infrastructure, safety concern, still we have a lack of standardization, and cost and lifespan of the limitation. These are the main categories or main challenges that I found in hydrogen for the UAVs and drones. Because I faced it, you know, because I worked with the drone back in 11 years ago, 9 years, 10 years ago, when I was working with the drone. I found that it is very hard to find the hydrogen in British Columbia. And I'm sure for the small companies like me or the others that they have a drone and they want to use it for the monitoring and inspection, they're gonna have these problems. And especially the cost and lifespan of the fuel cells. Fuel cells, they are very expensive, and 200 to 300 of the operation, it's a lot for the small companies to change the drone. But I know in future, and I'm hoping in future, this problems, it will be solved, and we're gonna have the longer and much more cost-effective fuel cells for the drone and UAVs. But sometimes when we are looking for these, some categories using the hydrogen or gasoline, the hydrogen, it works. For example, for search and rescue and the monitoring inspection, or for the in war, because we need much more quieter drones, this limitation is going to go away, and we need to focus on the hydrogen. The drone that we have, we can fly 5 hours, 6 hours with no payload, but it is noisy. It's very noisy, and everyone can see it from the 200 meters or 300 meters. The goal of the drone that we have, it's good for the remote areas for inspection and monitoring, for example, mining companies, for oil and gas or agriculture. But for some categories or some, let's say, categories, it's good for using hydrogen as a green and quiet as at the drone noise that is flying for the field. Another things I can explain it more about the hydrogen, because the everything it's new for the drone and UAVs. Most of the companies in this field, they don't prefer to use it. For example, they're using the DJI, XAG, or the other companies, but still, if we want to convince them the hydrogen is good, they're looking for how we can repair it, how it's accessible. There's not that much company in Canada or in the US to provide the specific equipment and parts for these type of the drones. This limitation is going to be solved in future, and because the technology is always moving, and we know in near future the hydrogen is the answer, and we need to work on this type of the technology to work as a green source of the power source. As a comparison that I can mention that, for example, the drone that we have, because it's using gas for flying, as a comparison, when we are comparing helicopters with our drones, it's green compared to the one helicopter that is with the same mission that we are doing. For example, 4 hours of flight, doing the LiDAR or mapping mission in the forest or the coastlines, we are much more greener. But in Canada, as you guys know, they are always searching, or they are always looking for the green energy. I mean, we have to move forward towards the safer and green energy, which is the hydrogen. Hydrogen is the answer for future, and we need to move on to this field. There are lots of companies that are starting to do the research how we can extract the hydrogen out of the woods, out of the another material, but still is initial. Probably in next 10 years, we're going to see the revolution of the hydrogen in this field to use it as for on the cart and the helicopters and the aerial vehicle and all type of the drones and UAVs. And this is my last slide. My information is here, and if you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer all of your questions.
Thank you so much for that, Mohammed. Curious, where is SkyScouter at? Are you guys commercialized yet? What is how many team members do you have? Can I buy a hydrogen drone right now? Are you raising money? What does that landscape look like for you?
Yeah, we have lots of projects in British Columbia in forestry, and everyone can buy the drone. It's going to take 2 to 3 months because we are customizing based off the customers. The project that we have, it's on forestry and in agriculture in Canada. We have the project with we call it IRAP or NSERC in Canada for BVLOS operation. We are the first company. We're gonna do the project in BVLOS operation within the 50 kilometers. Based on this type of the BVLOS operation, we need to send 5 drones at the same time within the 50 kilometers to find a spot in the forest, monitor it, inspect it, and come back to the base. And when we are in the process of getting the certificate for BVLOS operation from Transport Canada, once we get ready, everyone can buy the certified drone for the BVLOS operation.
Oh, very exciting. Congrats on being first. So you mentioned customizing for customers. Are you customizing the drone and the propulsion system based on their mission? Are you customizing based on the payload? I guess that would sort of be part of the mission, but yeah, so are there not like one size fits all? What's the customization part look like?
The propulsion system it's same, but the shape of the drone, we can change it. Payload, we can change it. We have 2 types of the drone. Both of them is octocopter. One of them is coaxial. The other one is the separated propellers. Based on the customer, for example, the customer said, I need a smaller drone to pack it in my truck to do the mission, for example, in the middle of the remote areas. And they prefer to have a smaller, compact drone. And we changed it to that one. And I forgot about the raising the money. Yes, we are raising the money for making the rental platform. The rental platform that we are developing, it's like you can log into the platform and book your flight with a specific sensor. Then we're gonna do the mapping, inspection, and upload it to the cloud, and you can have all access to all the video pictures. And you don't need to buy the drone and have a team for maintenance, pilot, and those type of the employees on board. We can do everything. Send all the pictures, and you can have the nice pictures, high quality for inspection.
Well, that is so smart. My mom works in the construction industry, and the firm, I don't know that much about construction other than what she tells me, but it's very competitive in that space to be able to survey buildings and things like that with a drone. So many of them have purchased these very expensive drones. They don't have the slightest idea how to fly them. And so there's this $10,000, $20,000 drone sitting in the office that they don't really know what to do with. They don't understand what it takes to get a license. So I really appreciate that business model. Because that's essentially what people want is the data. They don't necessarily want to buy and operate a drone. So that's very smart. So I would think that minimizes the raise that you have to do. What is your raise, and are you doing like an equity split? What does that look like?
We are open to give away equity. We are raising $1.5 million at valuation of 10 million.
Mm-hmm. That's reasonable. So do you all manufacture 100? Well, so there's a couple things that are in mind. I know a lot of folks have been having a hard time finding drones that don't have any parts made in China. Um, since you are doing sort of like a lease, where I'm assuming SkyScouter would operate the drone and then you would provide the customer the data. Do you have, are you still under the same regulation as, can't be any parts from China? And do you all make 100% of this in North America?
Um, no and yes. Some part we have to import it from China, like propellers or electric motors. Yes, there's no way we can produce it here. I found out two companies in US, they are making same model like that we are importing from in China. It is a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't matter. We can get it because the drone that we have, it's not cheap and low cost. We can add it $2,000 to that one and make sure everything it made in North America. But in terms of the flight controller, all the electronic, yeah, it made in North America. And
Okay,
we
very cool.
customize all the except the flight controller, the other things we are making it here in house.
Mm-hmm. Um, you made me think of something. One of High Sky's original founders is a gentleman named Dabin Kim, and he is a brilliant engineer. He started, well, he's been a part of a couple nonprofits, but he started, he's in South Korea and he's in Seoul, and he manufactures drone propellers. So I would love to connect you with him. I believe his entire business model is to be competitive with China's prices.
Yeah,
The
that would
name
be great. Yeah.
escapes me right now. Okay, so we do have a couple of questions. Let me just start from the beginning, and I will call on.
I forgot to add one technology that we have. We call it fleet control management.
Okay,
Uh,
yep.
Control management it's the technology we can control 5 drone, 10 drone at the same time for one mission. For example, for agriculture perspective, at 10,000 acre, 20,000 acre of the land, if we want to go by one drone, it's going to take a time, 1 day, 2 day, 3 days to cover the whole land. What we can do, we can cover the land with 5 drones at the same time while they are
Mm,
flying. Uh,
mm,
it makes it much more shorter time, and because the fleet control management system, they're controlling, they're talking to each other, and they know, for example, drone A is covering this area, drone B is covering this area, and they're not confronting to their areas. We
Mm-hmm.
have this technology also, and also on top of that, we have an advanced object avoidance system on the drones. Then we can detect wires while the drone are flying. This is a good for the inspection and monitoring. For example, when the fixed wing drone they are flying, they have to go high and
Right.
with the good camera to check the ground, but we can go low as much as possible to fly between the barriers with
Mm-hmm.
with this type of drone. And we are working the AI model to integrate it to the fleet control management and object avoidance to um, classify all the objects. For example, when we are saying the detect the towers, it must detect the towers. When it reach, it must detect it by itself. It's gonna take it
Mm-hmm.
long, but this is the our goal for next year to complete it and to integrate it to the drones.
Okay, I love that. I'm gonna call on Sarah Matrin, if you would like to unmute and turn your camera on. You don't have to turn your camera on. I appreciate it. I love putting faces with folks' names. But yeah, Sarah, you've got a great comment and question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the standardization. Right, I did a quick search, and obviously noticed that Germany has a lot of, it's working very heavily on certification, but also ISO, which is an international organization. Are you, is it not possible, I think you're based in Canada, is it not possible that everybody just agrees to follow ISO standards and just go with it, or how does that work?
You know, in every country is different, right? When they have a standard, all countries they want to have their own standard. For example, we have a standard for flying drone in Canada, and we have general standards to flying drone in US. It's almost similar, but they have to write it down for their perspective. Yes, and it's not. I'm saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it's not possible to follow that one. It's not gonna be good, but they should provide the clear things because when the standard it's available here in Canada, we can follow it, but we cannot rely on saying, for example, the ISO said because of this we're gonna follow that one. Probably they are not gonna accept it here.
Okay, I mean, the ISO is an international standards organization. I mean,
Yes,
I assume that everybody wants to have their own flavor, but if,
correct.
yeah, to move the industry forward, I guess instead of waiting for standards to be localized, I guess following anything like the ISO or in the US NIST, right, would be a good plan to start with.
That's correct. Yeah.
Great question. Next we have, if I can find the chat, which I've lost. Okay, next we have Jay. Jay, I think he sort of answered that, but we'll go ahead and touch on that. Jay, do you want to unmute Jay Hawkins?
Yeah, no, he did. He answered that. I thought maybe he was seeing that because I had just posted it when he started talking about the rental piece of
Oh,
things.
nice.
So yeah, so he hit all that. Just interested. I know Sarah put in another question kind of similar to that, which I was actually just looking at was drone management software. Are you partnering with somebody or did you write that yourself?
Yeah, we are partnering with the another company. You know that because we cannot touch the whole all areas, right? It's another company. We call it the name is the Nextclear. They based in Ontario. They
Mhm.
provide the software and it's integrated to our flight controller.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's all I had.
Jay is also a software engineer. I know why he asked that question. Also, Jay, very sorry about your loss. Hopefully
Thank you.
your family is doing good. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's good to have you back. Oliver, you are next. Oliver, would you like to come on and ask your question?
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering, it seems like you're using the multi-copter, be it Quadro or Octo or whatever, And if range and endurance is such a concern, why did you stick to that concept instead of going for fixed wing, possibly with a tilt rotor for easy takeoff and landing? I was wondering.
The goal of the multicopters is to getting close to the object, to an object. For example, when we are flying near to the towers, cell towers or power towers, we cannot do it by fixed wings. That's why we move to the multicopters to do the inspection and monitoring with the multicopters. Otherwise, for the agriculture perspective or for example, the coastline or shoreline, the fixed wing, they are good. They are very good.
Okay, thank you.
Great question. So next we have, let's see, I think maybe I see Sarah again. And I want you to go again, Sarah, because I do love this question.
Yeah, forestry and planting trees. Okay, this is the yes. In the forestry, she wants to say the
Yeah,
question.
Mohammed, let's let her, sorry, Mohammed, let's let her ask the question. I like, because we put these on YouTube and they can't see the chat. So yeah. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
The question is, what is the use application for forestry? Is it for planting trees from above or find wildfires?
Okay, there are tons of application in forestry. Right now, we are using it for the planting tree and monitoring and inspection in forestry for wildfire. One of them is wildfire. The other one is the finding the species in the forestry, age of the trees, finding canopies, calculating the fuel on the ground for the forestry for the wildfire. Yeah, there are tons of the application in the forestry with the drone that we can use it.
Cool.
Right now, I'm using it. Yeah.
I love that. You know, I'm just thinking how valuable something like that would be in an emergency situation, like with the Texas floods. What if there is that a market you're looking at with the like emergencies? How quickly can this be deployed if say I needed something in an hour? Is that something you are looking at? Or are you more you know, just looking for that membership? Is it a membership subscription? Is it a one-off? How does a rental work?
Still, we are working on this one, maybe subscription model, yeah, something like this. But for the deploying, because it has a gas, it's 5 to 10 minutes. Just refuel it, put the gas in the tank, and send it to the mission. It's not the like the battery. We have to fully charge. It's everything. It's like car, quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yared, you are next. If you're on, you feel free. It looks like you've got a three-part question. Please turn your mic on and you may ask your three questions.
Okay, first of all, thank you for your presentation, Mohammed. So my first question is, you have mentioned infrastructure is a key barrier or obstacles, right? So what are the key steps your company taking to address this challenge? And my second question is, how do you address the safety concerns related to the hydrogen storage and operation in drones? For example, if you rent for customer, homeowners, or for locals, how do you manage that? And the third question is, what specific markets or sectors do you see driving in demand? For the next years, what is your customer segmentation like? Is it institution, companies, hospitals, or just delivery companies? I just want to know this. Thank you.
For the first question, the infrastructure key barrier. Address challenges. So I don't understand, but I didn't get the first one.
Okay, the first one is you have mentioned infrastructure is the main challenge for your companies that usually to produce this hydrogen drone. There is some infrastructure.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, for example, in British Columbia, in whole British Columbia, I found out just maybe 10 or 12 stations that they have the hydrogen like a gas station for the cars and for the trucks here. It's only maximum 12. For example, if you have a drone here that works with the hydrogen, the problem is where you can get the hydrogen. It's very hard. And then if you, for example, when you have a tank of the for the storing the hydrogen, 99% they don't accept it to charge it for you because the safety concern is gonna come. Is it it's gonna tolerate 700 of bar or 200 of bar? It's a lot of pressure is inside, right? But then they're rejecting all this. They are not gonna give you the compressed hydrogen in those tanks. Otherwise, we have to go through all the safety things, we get the certificate, and when you accept it, they're gonna give you the hydrogen. In terms of the safety, it's for example, when you have the tank of the hydrogen, it is compressed. Where you're gonna store it, where you're gonna put it, how you carry it. These are all the things you need to consider. Otherwise, it's very high pressure tank near to you, and you need to be careful of that one, how to manage it. Also on top of the specific market sector, the drones with the like ours that it uses gas for flight as a like the hybrid system or the hydrogen, it's good for inspection and monitoring. Because inspection and monitoring, they are using the one camera, maximum 1 kilogram to 2 kilogram of the payload, and it's not that much heavy. They can carry it easily for 1 hour to 3 hours in operation. For delivering, I studied, still is not good. Still is in primary because we have it's gonna take a lot of energy to carry 10 kilogram or 50 kilogram of the payload. That's why I'm saying it's only for monitoring and inspection. It's good.
Thank you very much.
I put a couple of links in the chat, Mohammed. Two organizations that HYSKY works with. One of them is called Millennium Rain Energy. They're based in Ohio, and they make you can see they make hydrogen refueling stations. In one of their units, they you just connect it to electricity and water, so that electricity can come from solar, or you can plug it into an outlet, however you want to do it. And then you connect it to a water source, and it electrolyzes, so it produces the hydrogen, it purifies the hydrogen, it compresses the hydrogen, and it dispenses the hydrogen. And it does one more thing, I'm forgetting, there's 5 steps. Anyway, I visited. And then the other company, NovaSpark Energy, they pull moisture out of the atmosphere and produce hydrogen. So both of those systems have been deployed. Millennium Rain Energy has more deployed than NovaSpark. NovaSpark's a much newer company, but happy to introduce you to them. So that would solve your key challenge of how do you get the hydrogen. So I just wanted to point that out. They both presented at our H2 Hub Summit in March. Okay, next up we have...
There's a special project here in British Columbia is happening because there's lots of wildfire. It's here, right? And there's lots of burnt woods that nobody knows what they're gonna do with these burnt woods, and they're gonna extract the hydrogen out of the woods.
Interesting. I would love to see that process.
Well, yeah, there are lots of bioproducts out of the woods. One of them is this one.
Very cool. I love that. Gaber, you are up next. Would you like to, looks more of a comment, but I'd love to invite you to turn your mic on. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It wasn't Gaber. It was Nick. Forgive me. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Nick. Nick, would you like to turn your mic on and ask your question or comment? While we're waiting on Nick, Doug, feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Yes, thank you. I was just wondering about wildfire ground crew coordinating with an aerial drone in fighting fire and also spotting the hot spots from above with cameras and infrared, and then communicating with the ground crew about that information and the geo, you know, the location, the grid point. So is that something that you have thought about or have designed into the program, that it can talk to ground crews in firefighting, wildfire fighting?
Yeah, that's a great question. There is an ongoing project. It's still on. We need to find out how we can do it between Rogers, UBC in British Columbia, and us. We need to fly our drone above, or not exactly above, the wildfire, near to the fire with the zoom cameras to transmit the data to UBC to see. They're gonna calculate the behavior of the wildfire, where it's gonna go, how's the temperature. They're gonna calculate the whole things. And what's the goal of this project? When they found out, for example, the wildfire is gonna go towards this city or this infrastructure, they can tell to crew grounds, go this area and cut the trees, or water bombers go this area and drop the water or the other things. We are in talk to do it with the Rogers and UBC, this one. We're gonna transmit, the goal is transmit the thermal video and thermal images through the drones to the UBC, and they're gonna run the simulation and calculation.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So this is a little bit different than anything I've ever done before, but we don't have any more questions and we are done a little early. Mohammed, I would love to invite you, if you have it. Now, Mohammed did not know I was going to do this, neither did I until just now, but I would love to invite you to give us your investor pitch if you want to. If you have an investor deck ready, I would personally love to hear it.
Yes, maybe I can open the another one.
Yay, this is fun. It will be good practice too. But I am genuinely interested because I don't think I've heard of a use case where, I mean, I'm not saying, renting isn't anything new, but I can't help but think about the construction industry and how those folks would probably be customers for you as well. That there are a lot of people that have purchased drones and they're just sitting there and they don't know what to do with them. Might even be opportunity to purchase drones from them back and convert them to hydrogen. But anyway, yeah, I'm really curious what it is, because if you could speak in a language that, landowners, infrastructure builders, construction workers can understand, I think you would be able to tap into a market that is really untapped outside of aviation. So I'm really curious to hear it.
Trying to find the pitch deck here, but sometimes it's not working. I don't know where is the investor pitch deck. Because this is the first time that we are raising the money. Previously, because we are having the job, we are doing the job, and it's all bootstrapped from the founders. We didn't pitch for the investors. This is the first time we are preparing pitch for the investors. I'm trying to find it.
Well, I love it that you're doing this.
While you're looking, I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more about the burned goods. Because I actually worked on a project for an SBIR funded company that was producing biochar from industrial hemp waste, and they had like mobile trucks that they could haul anywhere to the industrial hemp farm. So I don't know how complicated it would be to actually add like a hydrogen production to the biochar. But anyway, if you're interested in the name of the biochar mobile truck company, ping me. I left you my email address. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I need to look for it.
Yeah, that would be good. If you send me, that would be good. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And like I said, I didn't quite understand what you said, but yeah, if it's something like biochar, this is like a mobile truck that they just haul everywhere and they just do their thing. But it would be cool because if you want to produce the hydrogen on the spot, then you obviously need to have a mobile thing that you can haul around. But I'll look for the name of the company.
Daniel, let me, hold on, I'm sharing. Is this one? Okay. Is it, maybe I can email pitch deck to those interested investors? Because
Yes, of
I can't
course.
find it, and it's not the one I'm presenting. It's lots of adding into it, and it's not good for the presenting it now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But again, I am interested, and I'm also trying to find the guys. Okay, here. I found the Seoul Korea propeller company, so I'm going to stick that in the chat for you as well. And I'm happy to introduce you if you want to meet, but yeah, rapidly optimized propellers for every drone. And that's their slogan. So awesome. Well, let me just see. Are there any last comments or questions? Sarah's also interested in seeing the pitch deck. I would also encourage you, Mohammed, if you haven't already signed up on HYSKY Connect, you can sign up for free. You can upgrade
Yeah.
for $100 using that code HYSKY68. But on there, you can put your pitch deck in there. We've got a lot of free resources in there. Everybody in there, it's very focused on hydrogen and aviation. So I think you'll find a lot of synergy. So I encourage you. It's connect.hysky.org. So cool. Well, everybody, it looks like we are going to get done 20 minutes early. Thank you so much to Mohammed. Mohammed, do you want to put your email in the chat so folks can reach
Yes,
out
sure.
to you? And then Michelle is also interested. So Michelle, she put her email, and Sarah, I will note that they are both interested in the pitch deck. Cool.
But these are my information here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mohammed. And we will upload this later today on our website and on YouTube, as well as the slides. And I will connect you with Sarah and Michelle, and let me know if you're interested in those other companies that I mentioned. But yeah, it's just been a real pleasure. So thank you so much, Mohammed. I can't wait to see what you're doing. I think it's a very smart business model. So thank you again, and look forward to seeing what you guys do.
Thank you so much for your time, and thanks so much for everyone joining us here. It was a very good meeting. Lots of learning from the folks that they're asking me. Hope to see future for hydrogen.
Yes, I love it. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great week. Bye.